5, 4. Are you ready? 20 seconds start now. Ten seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody, you are with us. And us would be myself and the great football with cheese. Yes, great is the thing for the day.
That me?
It's like he's a knight at the round table. That's why his picture is round. So, yes.
So is yours.
Great.
So is yours.
Just simply a coincidence, sir. Just a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
All right, buddy. How you been?
I have been well. It's a fun time of year. It's draft season, so I'm very excited. That music's kind of loud. No, I've been well. How has Mike Valentine been?
Hey, Mike's been okay, man. I mean, we're doing a bunch of stuff here with All Gloves Off Sports Media. We are looking at getting a guest possibly today. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work out or if it's going to work out, but we'll work on it here. And then, as you said already, man, this is going to be great as far as everything is going. The draft is here. We are 10 days now into the regular season MLB. So let's talk about what all we're going to talk about today. The list is long. Here we go, buddy. So, of course, it's going to knock me out of the computer system when I'm trying to read what's going on.
Of course.
No problem. So I can do this here. So we are going to talk about the New York Giants as far as football goes. We are going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of interesting things happening in both of those camps right at the moment that we will get into. And then we're going to jump into a couple of other things with the NFL. Of course, we're going to talk about the NFL draft. We are also going to look at different things with MLB, the Red Sox, the Giants there as well. And then we're going to look at the Cubs, the whole Central Division. There's a quote from a Pittsburgh Pirate that we got to look at. And then, and I can't wait to do this, our top 10, the lights out list today, buddy, is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to do this one. We're going to do our top 10 mock drafts. So the top 10 picks from this brain that doesn't, work as well as the one with all the hair on it. And that brain over there, we're going to see what we come up with here. Who and how exactly we think the upcoming draft is going to go. And, of course, we're going to have to talk about the shows that we got coming up, the guests that we got coming. Ladies and gentlemen.
Lots going on.
Wait. That's right.
Lots going on. It's draft season. It's big. We got a lot going on.
We do. And for those of you who are looking to maybe jump on to something like this, we would love to have you. We are looking for content creators, and we are looking for additional podcasts to come on board with All Gloves Off Sports Media. So if that is you, just simply DM us on our X, which is at All Gloves Off SM, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, buddy. So you know what time it is. We've already talked to each other a little bit. It is time for the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Wait a minute. We got a comment over here first.
Do we have a comment?
We do. Hello.
What's up, Christopher?
We love it when you guys all join the show. There's lots of you on board with us already right now.
I don't know what that comment. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, okay. I don't know either. So it scares me when I don't know what the comments are supposed to be. I'm the old man over here, the get off my lawn guy, so I'm not real hip on all these sayings. And my luck, I'll throw something up there that means something terrible, and then we're going to get banned. So let's not do that. So if you guys want to put comments up, by all means, please do. Just, do it right. And when we're talking about stuff, be with us and talk about what we're talking about. We love it when you guys are here on the show. Well, we're almost going to do the 5 Flaming 5 and 5, Chris. That's what we're about to do.
5 Flaming 5. When we're talking baseball, we talk football. At the end, we're going to do a top 10 mock draft, which of course me and Mike will both do it, not together, separate top 10 mock drafts. And of course, they'll be extremely different because they always are.
They always are. All right, buddy. So for everyone here, so that you guys all know exactly how this works, we're not trying to hide anything from anyone. We're doing the 5 Flamin' 5 a little bit different. I gave Cheese these 5 questions already. He knows what's coming. What he doesn't know is coming is that question. That's the 6th question if he gets all 5 of them right. But I guarantee you he's going to want to talk about this topic. So I can't wait to put it up there for him. All right. Are you ready, Cheese?
Yes. So why do people text me when they can just do the comments on X or YouTube? Like, I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to do my job, and people keep texting me. So I'm trying to be ready.
Tasker, sir.
My friend just said, who are you going to pick for Washington? Well, just got to watch.
Yeah, hang on, buddy. Hang on. We'll get there. That's the whole point of the tease at the beginning of the show. I mean, I don't know if you guys understand how podcasting works, but no, we love you. We really do.
My phone has been blowing up. Go to YouTube and what is your YouTube again?
The YouTube is All Gloves Off Sports Media. That's where you can get us at on YouTube. So go there. You can go to the X account, either mine or Cheese's. Mine is All Gloves Off SM. Cheese, what's your X account, buddy? So they can go there.
X account is at Football Cheese, football and then CAGEZ. The YouTube account is at Football with Cheese. Right. And we are live on both. So go to one of those and then make comments and stop texting me. Thank you.
Public service announcement from Cheese. All right, buddy. Let's get into this here. Okay. It's going to be a great show. I can tell already. It's going to be a great show.
Check this out. Did you hear about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rosini? No, God, no. We don't want to talk about that.
We did hear about it. Actually, I'll throw Mr. First Down a bone here for a moment. He sent me a thing over like, are you guys going to talk about this? And then right before we came on the air, I asked Cheese, do we want to talk about this? No. And I got that same reaction that he gave to all of you just a couple seconds ago. So we'll go with no.
No, we don't care.
All right. Here we go, buddy. Let's start the music, and then we'll go with the question.
Okay.
All right, sir. Here is your first question. The timer will start when I'm done with this first question. Here we go. Jose Ramirez has only played for one franchise, the Indians/Guardians. Yesterday, he became the player with the most number of games ever with that franchise at 1,620. The question is, Cheese, how big of a deal is that to you?
To me personally?
Yes.
It's big. I don't like this. I love this. This is what we need more in sports. This brings so much to organization. Someone that only plays for one team. They're loyal. They'll sign an extension that's probably under market value, which is he's done multiple times. Obviously I'm a Braves fan, so Chipper Jones means a lot to me. Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken. It happens in other sports as well, like Tim Duncan. Trying to think of a football example besides a quarterback, but why am I blanking on football examples? Ed Reed, maybe? Like somebody in the comments. Did John Lentz only play for the Buccaneers? No, he played for the Broncos. Never mind. Yeah. Bad one. That was bad. No, it means a lot. I love it. We need so many more athletes to do this. It keeps your fan base interested. It's just we need these players to stay with one team their whole career. I cannot express, I'm not even explaining it right, but I can't express how much I absolutely love this. And Jose Ramirez is one of my favorite non-Cub and Brave, my two teams. He is probably my favorite in baseball because of this.
All right. Cheese, if veterans don't report to voluntary NFL workouts, is it a big deal?
It can be. If you have a new head coach, a new system, then it's very important that you do. If you have the same head coach for the last several years, if you have like Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers, Andy Reid or something like that, and it's the same offense, I think it's not as important. But, new coach, new system, I think it's very important to show up. And it's really important to some teams more than others. The Packers actually put workout bonuses in a lot of their contracts to make sure they're there. And if they don't show up, okay, $400,000 goes back on the salary cap. But I think it really depends on, and if you're a veteran who's 34 years old, even the same team for 8 or 9 years, same defense, I don't think it's a big deal.
All right. Let's go back to baseball for a moment. Let's talk about your Cubs. Seiya Suzuki will join the team on Friday. And my question to you is pretty simple, but pretty sad all at the same time. Will that make up for the loss of Cade Horton now that he is missing the rest of the season?
No, not at all. Seiya Suzuki will help because the lineup has underachieved, although they have 9 runs tonight. But Seiya Suzuki is a very important bat. I think he was their best hitter last year. So he's their number 3 hitter. So obviously it will help. But to make up for Cade Horton was one of the best pitchers in baseball in the second half of last year. He is their best pitcher, especially with Justin Steele out. This is devastating. I know they have some depth. And anyone,
We'll talk about this more, so you don't have to waste all your seconds
just
now.
get to this question. It's so frustrating because anyway.
Okay, you said skip, so I'm trying to here, all right? Cheese,
Yes.
on your draft board, who is your second best rated quarterback in the upcoming draft?
Ty Simpson, Alabama.
Okay.
Mendoza, hands down, number 1. Let's just establish that.
Okay.
Ty-
So Mendoza number 1, no doubt, and then Ty Simpson is second. Okay. Today, sir, via Fangraphs, the Reds, Twins, and Padres all have a sort of minuscule 25% chance of making the playoffs. I like to bet things like this where it's kind of minuscule and I can get a good return on my money. So, Cheese, which one of those 3 teams would you put money on right now to be into the playoffs? This is not World Series. It's just getting into the playoffs. Reds, Twins, Padres.
You knew I was about to go off on a whole Ty Simpson profile, and you just went to the next question. Very good, Mike. Very good. You know me well. The Twins are not making the playoffs. Let's be honest. They are not. They do not have a good enough roster. So
Okay.
they're the Reds, we both picked them to make the playoffs. You picked them further than me. I still think the Reds have so much depth. I love their depth, and I think they're going to start hitting more. So I think the Reds will. Padres, I just don't know. I feel like they're going to underachieve. So I don't think the Padres are going to make it. I think they're right about 2 of them. I think the Reds get in as a wild card. But I don't think the Padres – I think the Padres are going to miss it, and I don't think the Twins have good enough roster.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Look at that. 5
Yes.
seconds left. Look at you, buddy.
Yes.
All right.
This is why I like
so,
me. This is why I like me.
Okay, I like you too, sir. So I wanted to kind of set up the Ty Simpson thing because I know on your draft channel you did this today. You did 2 Utah players. Tell us which 2 Utah players you did today.
Yeah, I went the 2 offensive tackles, Caleb Lomu, left tackle, and Spencer Fanu, right tackle. I decided to make them into one video, save a little time. But I'm going to do a lot more individual prospect breakdown, especially most of the players that projected to go top 20. I've already done Fernando Mendoza. So they're usually, obviously it was two people, but they're usually 4 to 6 minute videos. And they're just 2 players that I really enjoyed watching. I definitely hire one of them more than consensus. And I love offensive line. If you know my channel, you know. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, buddy. I love offensive line, and I love watching offensive line. When I watch a game a second time, I'm watching offensive linemen. So I got to watch a lot of Utah film, and what I saw is very encouraging. And I think, make sure you check it out on my channel.
All right, we got a couple of Pittsburgh people going on here, so that is
We-
fine.
We will
we'll
talk about them. We will talk about them. Yes, pretty soon in the show.
And
Yes.
I agree with you, so we'll give you about 10 seconds. All right. Now, Cheese, the question that, because you did it, you got it within the 5 minutes. Here it is, buddy. And it kind of goes to college, to football, and the NFL draft. I can't wait to get your opinion on this. I don't know if you saw it or not. I'm sure you did because of who you are and what you do for a living. But Fernando Mendoza today said that he would not attend the NFL draft. He was going to stay at home and watch the draft from there.
Mhm.
Is that important to the NFL, first of all? I'm going to ask you 4 or 5 different questions here. Is it important to the NFL that he comes to the draft, or is it not that big a deal?
Oh, it's huge for the NFL. They want you there. They want you there. They want the interviews. They want your reaction. It's good for TV. They absolutely hate this. I'm sure they begged him to come, but I think I know your next question, so I'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
Okay. So then we haven't gone over this. How do you know my next question?
I'm just guessing. I don't want to get too far ahead.
That's okay. I know.
Sometimes you ask a question and I answer 3, so I'll just stop.
Just so everybody knows, this is season 2, episode 8. So we know each other pretty well by this point, okay? And if we don't, we probably shouldn't be doing this, but we are, and we continue to do it because of all of you. So the second question here, since he said he's not coming, and so you just said it, he's not going to be there for the interviews. He's not going to be there for it. So then now, who is the NFL going to get behind that will be there? They got to get behind somebody, right? Somebody's got to be the main event, the attraction. Who is that going to be?
The only person you could possibly try to do it around is Jeremiah Love, but even so, it's not even close. Like, Fernando Mendoza is this draft. He is the face of this draft. He's not only going first. I don't think I've ever seen a draft where it's more of a guaranteed prospect months ago. Even Joe Burrow, maybe Andrew Luck, but Andrew Luck had Robert Griffin III. Like, there's never been a guaranteed number 1 like this. Peyton Manning had Ryan Leaf. So this is what the NFL, it has to be livid right now. Maybe livid, just devastating. So maybe Jeremiah Love, they'll try to focus on him. There's just too many Ohio State defenders to focus on one. But even so, it's not going to be the same.
And you could do like Club Ohio State or something and just do all 4 of them that are probably going to get picked in the top 10. But we'll talk about that in a minute when we do our draft. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got several Ohio State guys in my top 10, but we'll see.
I could have several in the top 5. Just saying.
Oh, wow. I'm the Ohio State guy. You might. Okay. This will be interesting.
You're an Ohio State guy, but I watched the film and I'm like, these guys, they have a lot of guys that are going to go in the top 10 this draft.
Yes.
I have 4 in my top 10, I think.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
I think.
All right. So last question about Fernando Mendoza and the draft and everything else, right? So is it that big a deal? Because I'm sure there's going to be tons of cameras at his house, right? They're going to show everybody. They're going to be in his living room when he gets picked number 1 and we all go, oh, I can't believe, Fernando Mendoza, really? We all know what's coming, right? So does that make it, do those 2 things make it not less of a big deal? 1, that they can be in his living room and still do stuff with him, and 2, that we all know what's coming. There's no one else that's going to go number 1. The Raiders aren't trading this pick. I mean, this is one of I would gamble on this all day long. You're not going to win any money off of it because it's so sure, but this is a surefire bet.
I thought you asked something similar. This is what I thought. I was like, he's going to ask something similar. It is a big deal just because they want you hugging the commissioner, taking the picture with the reporters there. They want you there. They want the fans to see you there. Yes, they'll still have cameras there, but I do not know. I have no sources on this. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been a journalist for 3 different publications. I've met some people. I can text some friends that might know some stuff, but I do have no. Yeah. Anyway,
just so you know, cheese is a big deal. Cheese right here is a big deal.
But the point I'm trying to make is I have no insider information at all on this, but I think this is about his mom. She struggles with MS, and I think it might be hard for her maybe to be there, to go through it, to travel, and then the hotel and everything. I think this is about her. It could be about just being close to your friends and family. You can't take everyone there. That's possible. We know Fernando Mendoza is intangibles off the charts. We know he's just a class act. But I think this is about his mom, and I think he's a family first guy, and he talks about his brothers all the time. I love that. He's got 2 brothers, and I think this is about his family. And it doesn't matter what the NFL says. He's a family first guy, and I love that. And I think that's what it's about.
All right. And you know what? That very well could be it. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. It's a great point by you. Because his mom went to the national title game, but that wasn't far from their house. So, I'm sure that made a difference because it wasn't that far from the house. And we'll just kind of leave it at that.
Well, we saw him hugging her, and she was in that wheelchair. We saw him hugging her. It can be tough. I don't know a ton about MS, but I've known a few people that have had it, and it sucks. So I think that's what it's about, and I honestly love it. I love seeing the reaction of the family so much more than just celebrating, with a select few and just there. So I love that he's doing this. I love the home celebration when they all of a sudden go crazy and everyone's hugging. I think that's amazing. So I'm very happy that he's doing that.
But I'm not sure if it's going to be that way. This is going to be anticlimactic. Everyone in that room is going to know that he's going to get picked first.
But they're still going to celebrate. They're still going to be happy. It's still a great moment. Hearing your name, obviously, you've never experienced it. I may have been close. Okay, no. I declared for the NBA draft in 2011, but I wasn't picked. But hearing your name has to be something like unreal. Hearing on TV, it's a one-time only moment. So that has to be epic and something you'll never forget and will always be on YouTube, will always be shown. And you can – so I think even just that, I'm officially a professional athlete. I am the number 1 pick of the draft. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Okay. Speaking of something that's epic, why don't we jump into our MLB conversation and let's go with the most epic graphic in all of podcasting. Here we go.
Yes.
All right, buddy, there it is, the baseball of fire in the background with us there. It's a little hot in here all of a sudden. I don't think it's me. All right, bud.
Yes.
We need to jump into this baseball stuff because we're now 10 days in. And, Cheese, I'm going to ask you, we're going to play a little game called Is It Too Early to Panic?
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
So is it too early to panic?
Yes.
That the Red Sox have the worst record in the American League?
No, it's not too early to panic. It's not.
You just said yes. Oh, wait, no.
Well, I didn't know which team you're going to ask first. No, but I think it's not too early to panic. I think the Red Sox, they blew the Alex Bregman thing. They have a very tough division, extremely tough division, and they're in last already. Everyone's running on Roman Anthony in left field because he can't throw. There's just a lot of problems. It's not like one problem. There's a lot of problems with Boston. There's with pitching, with hitting, with defense. There's so many problems there. It's not too early. I think Craig Breslow, the GM, might be on the hot seat, and Red Sox had probably one of the worst off seasons of anyone in baseball.
Yeah, they're 3-8. I mean, they're already 5 games back out of the division, and we're 10 games in. They are 16 runs negative on the run differential, and we're yes. Well, they're not the worst one. They're not even the worst one in that division, by the way.
I'm trying to look up how they did tonight. Okay, they won tonight 3-2.
Okay. Oh, by the way, the Reds are all of a sudden winning, just so you know.
Oh, well, they were 2-8 because they're 3-8. You said that was with tonight's game.
Oh yeah, the 3-8 is the updated. Yes.
Okay, you got the update. Okay.
Is updated.
Yeah, and they won. Okay, Garrett Crochet pitched, but when he doesn't pitch, like they won Garrett Crochet start. That's great, but he doesn't. He pitches 4 games out of 5. He doesn't pitch, so I think that's another problem.
Oh no, you don't have to think about it. That certainly is another problem.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a huge problem for them.
The Reds are now up 6-2 in the 10th. They were down 2-0 late in that game, going in the 9th. They are now up 6-2. God, the Reds, man. We'll talk about them, man.
We will get to them.
Relentless, man. Wow.
Absolutely. I'm loving it. I really am loving it here.
Oh.
Okay. So, we're talking about the Red Sox. Is it too early to panic for them? I mean, we are only 10 games in, right? But it's partially because of the money they spent. I mean, they can't even say they spent money well this offseason, right?
No, starting pitching was already a strength. They went out and signed Ranger Suarez, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they let one of their best bats go, and Alex Bregman didn't really replace him. They already had traded I'm blanking on his name, to the Giants when they did sign
Rafael
Devers. So that's 2 huge bats in 2 consecutive seasons they lost. Like, yeah, I do not think they have spent their money well, to answer your question.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, you said it earlier, and I said it at the beginning when we did our show like 3 weeks ago. We were doing all of our predictions and everything. I told you that I didn't think that Craig Breslow and the rest of the Red Sox front office would last the entire season. I'm not going to try to break my arm, pat myself on the back here, but we're at least leaning toward that way, especially with the offseason that they had. Like you just spoke about. They let Devers go. And then all of a sudden, your Cubs end up with Bregman, so they have nobody at third base. They are desperate enough to where they have to trade for a first-year player out of Milwaukee to come in, Chad Durbin, who I like really well. But that was a desperation-type move for the Boston Red Sox, a team that spends $200 million in their team every year.
Caleb Durbin, right? Caleb Durbin?
Yeah, Caleb Durbin, yes.
He's been terrible. He's been terrible. The Brewers always trade people at the right time.
They certainly do. We'll talk about the Brewers more in a moment as well. But it's also the division that they're in too, right? I mean, you can't blame it. I mean, you can blame it all on them, but I'm not sure if that's a smart way to do it.
You can't blame it all on, but you need to make a decision with the division. Blue Jays won the World Series last year. Yankees are very good. Baltimore made upgrades. Tampa usually is in it, who knows. But that's brutal. And they kind of, let's sign a guy or 2 there. Let's just hang in there. And I think they were around 500 last year. Could be wrong. Can't remember. Maybe you can correct me. But they need to either maybe sell off some things, maybe mini retool, or go for it. And they did neither. Yeah,
I think they were one of those teams that was kind of stuck in the middle, right?
And that's the worst you can be. Going 500 every year is the worst you can be because you're not going to pick high in the draft. And you're not going to make the postseason. So what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. That is the worst place in the world to be. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NFL. We've talked about it on more than one occasion. It's the worst place in the world to be, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, we're going to keep going, and we're going to continue to play the panic game here for a moment. The second thing that we're going to say is the Giants have the worst record in the National League. Jeez, is it too early to panic on the San Francisco Giants?
No, it's not too early to panic. They suck. They have scored 30 runs. They can't score, and they can't really pitch either. No, I didn't love their lineup going into the year necessarily. I didn't think they'd be a big run scorer, but I thought their pitching would be better. They're 1-7 at home. That's bad. So they already played 8 games at home. So I'm hitting the panic button. And we mentioned divisions. It's not as good as the AL East, but the Dodgers, of course, are amazing. The Diamondbacks and Padres are definitely, playoff contenders. So you're probably at best going to be 4th in this division. At least I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on the, I'm not sold on the Padres, but I think the Diamondbacks know where they need to improve. They've already got like 7 or 8 injuries right off the bat. So, they've got nowhere to go but
the Diamondback way. That's the Diamondback way.
Man. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Yeah, but they're already in trouble. So I'm not 100% sure where they're going to go and what they're going to do. And, are they going to spend money? I don't know the answers to these questions yet, but hopefully we'll get some answers and they won't just be duds of an answers. I mean, so you're right. The Giants should be better than the Rockies at least, but shoot, the Rockies are doing decent right at the moment. So how embarrassing would it be if you're the Giants and you finish last in that division, especially with the money that they have spent?
Well, the Rockies got swept by the Marlins the first series, but they've been pretty solid since. Mm-hmm. They look better. But
Blue Jays 2 out of 3.
They did, yes. Yeah. And the Giants, I honestly probably have more confidence right now in the Red Sox than the Giants. Giants look terrible. You cannot be 1-7 at home through 8 games. That's even horrible teams don't have that kind of home record. At least they win some home games. So right. I think the Giants are an absolute mess right now.
So here I think is what the interesting question is for the Giants, and I'm really interested for your opinion here. If you remember, they hired a college coach. Mm-hmm. Is this going to be the only college coach ever hired in Major League Baseball if they keep going like this?
Vitello, yeah. Yes. It was a shocking hire. It's a different game. It's not just the metal bats. College baseball, if you ever just watch a game, you've watched them, I have, it is a different game. Very different. The style, the strategy, and it made no sense. And he's the guy, he was a coach at University of Tennessee. So that is a baseball team that I do follow.
Okay.
But I think this is about he was always invited to the draft. He would break the draft down because all these Tennessee prospects would be drafted. They've had very good teams the last few years. So it was almost like, oh, he's that face of the draft and, oh, let's just hire him. It's almost like more of a PR move than anything, which is stupid for a manager. It just made no sense. And of course, all the big baseball writers hyped it up. Oh, it's a big move. This is such a great, Giants taking a big risk, but this is really cool, great for baseball, whatever. I don't necessarily think, there's a lot of things not his fault, but it just didn't make any sense to me. And I'm surprised he took it because you can recruit University of Tennessee. He's done such a good job there. He's in a great spot. I was shocked that he took that job.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wasn't shocked, but yeah. You've got to, when you have the opportunity to go manage in the major leagues, you take that, right?
I guess, and I'm sure he got more money, but he had a really good gig at Tennessee.
Yeah, he did. All right, you may have seen me being a little distracted, and I apologize. I'm trying. We're having a little bit of not we, because I'm having a little bit of difficulties over here. But I want to be able to share my screen here in a moment and show you something. I think I've got it fixed, so we're good. We're focused. We're back in it here. So let me ask this:
yes,
as we continue with our Major League Baseball, is it too early to panic? I hate to do this to you, on the Cubs pitching staff.
You didn't say the Cubs. You said the Cubs pitching staff.
Yes.
Very, very clever how you worded it.
See, this is where you have an answer, and it's not like you didn't know this question was coming.
No, well, it's not totally a panic on the Cubs. Okay, I'll say that.
Okay.
On the pitching staff, maybe.
Well,
because
okay, so why don't we explain why are we saying this? Maybe people don't all. Maybe not everybody knows about your Cubs and what they're doing right now. So give us a little bit of a rundown of who all is on the IL.
Yeah, so Cade Horton, turns out he has to have Tommy John surgery. He was their best pitcher second half of last year. He's the best pitcher, starting pitcher in my opinion, on their team. He was a rookie phenom, should have won Rookie of the Year. And he got off to a good start this year. So he's out for the year and probably some of them next year. Their number one starter, at least who started the season, Matthew Boyd, is on the IL. Probably the minimum, only missed 2 starts, but still concerning. Justin Steele is probably out till May, maybe June. So it just really hurts. They do have some depth there, but when you lose a Cade Horton, you don't replace him with your second best pitcher. You replace him with your 6th or 7th, right? That's who you replace him with. So they called up a guy who's more of a back end of the rotation guy for the rest of the year. So the pitching staff, I still think the Cubs, they could absolutely be a playoff team. I think they're going to hit more as season goes on. The bullpen's more concerning than anything, not the starting pitching. Starting pitching's been very good. But as a true contender, this really hurts. And I'm worried that the Cubs will panic and trade from their farm system, which isn't great right now, to get another high-end starter that may be a free agent of the year just to try to compete. But I don't think they were on the Dodgers level anyway. They're definitely not now.
So is that what you suggest? Do you suggest mortgaging the future for today, or do you just want to play it out and see what happens?
Play it out, see what happens, see how it goes. But knowing Jed Hoyer, if he thinks they're even close to contending, he'll make a stupid trade because he's an idiot. Like there are literally players that he traded away when they weren't true contenders, but we're close to a playoff, and it's like you don't have a great farm system anyway. Like stop doing that. And I love the Edward Cabrera trade, but God, he gave up Owen Casey. And both corner outfielders are free agents next year. So.
But even with Cabrera, there's good and bad with him. So he's had 2 starts so far. He's only given up 2 hits. Great. In 11 2/3 innings. He has 9 Ks. That's fantastic. But he also has 6 walks. Those walks are eventually going to burn you when they face a better team, yes?
Technically, he has 1 hit. They should have given Michael Conforto an error. He ran in on the play. Did you see that play?
No, I heard about it, but I haven't actually witnessed it.
Cabrera has a no-hitter. He's cruising. And Conforto, who shouldn't even be on the team, in my opinion, shouldn't have made it because he sucks. He hasn't been good since 2022. He runs in, and it hits the wall, but like he would have caught it, right? But they called it a hit. And because that inning, there was 2 outs, the inning kept going, he walked 2 more guys after 2 outs. So technically 1 hit and 4 walks. Just saying. If Conforto plays that correctly, or Seiya Suzuki is healthy, it's 1 hit and 4 walks. But the walks, he ran out of gas at the end of that outing and walked. He was just missing like crazy those last 2 walks, and they took him out. Honestly, Craig Cancel should have took him out much earlier. He got over 90 pitches. Like, what are you leaving him in for? But
because he was throwing a no-hitter.
No, after the hit, he walked 2 guys later in the inning. The inning would have been over if it wasn't for Conforto. So I'm not really concerned about the walks because 2 of those really were just he ran out of gas. But very encouraging. I had a feeling that Cabrera would have a big year. Getting with Tommy Hotovoy, the Cubs pitching coach, he's just one of the best in the game. So I drafted Cabrera in my fantasy baseball team. So yes, and Seiya Suzuki's about to come back. I drafted him too. Sal Stewart's making me look smart. So all is good with the team.
All right, excellent. They've given up 40 runs in 10 games. Are you concerned about that? That's 4. I know you can do math, or at least easy math. That's 4 runs every game, by the way.
3 bullpen pitchers have been really bad, and I think that's probably about a third of that. So Jacob Webb was one of the dumbest signings. Like, I can't believe it. They have guys in AAA better than him. Phil Matan has struggled, and Ben Brown, they taught him a sinker, and he was supposed to fix his issues with homers. It has not. So those three, the middle relief has been a disaster. But the back of the bullpen, which is supposed to be the question mark, has been great. So really, three bullpen pitchers have been the bigger problem to me than the overall run. Like, that's why the run scored is that high.
All right, sir, let's stay in the Central Division for a moment and ask some questions 10 days into the season. Preference that I've said that like 3 or 4 times now. 10 days into the season, right? The Reds now, I believe, have an 8-3 record. I believe they just beat the Marlins. It must have been my guy Matty McLean that did something. He is trending on Twitter, I saw, so he must have done something. So we'll stick with 7-3 just to make sure. But the Reds,
it's 8-3. They're 5-0 on the road.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yes. So the Reds have an 8-3 record, which is probably second best now in the National League. Their 7-3 record was third best. They are winning a lot of close, low-scoring games. They've only scored 28 runs before today's game in 10 games. And everyone else in the division has scored at least 41 runs. Let me give that to you again. They've only scored 28, and everyone else in the Central Division scored at least 41 runs. Can they continue to win with this, you got to call it this, a Terry Francona formula?
That's always been his formula with Boston, with Cleveland. Yes, we win close games, pitching and defense. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes, because the pitching's been good and they're going to get Hunter Green back. They're going to get the pitching's going to get even better. So yes, but they'll need to hit more. But yeah, McLean hit a 2-run double up 3-2 in the 10th, made it 5-2. That's pretty much done. Once you get up 3, that's pretty much it. So, and De La Cruz scored the tying run in the 9th and drove in the 6th run in the 10th. Ellie De La Cruz, big 10th inning for the Reds. But they will need to hit more, but I think they will. I think you agree. They're going to hit more. They have a really good rookie in Sal Stewart, and they're very deep. They have 10 or 11 guys that could start for most teams.
Yes. Yeah, they've got 10 or 11 guys that can start for most teams, but they've really only got 1 or 2
studs,
stars, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of just an above average guy, and you plug and play with matchups and stuff like that. So again, this is a Terry Francona type of team. This is what he's done his years in Cleveland and his years in Boston, and it's worked for him, obviously. So we'll see if it continues to work in Cincinnati. Well,
I'll say this: like Steer's going to hit better than he's done so far. Eugenio Suarez is going to hit better than he's done so far. Some of their guys they haven't gone off to great starts so far. So they'll hit better, I think, as the season goes on.
All right, sir. Excuse me. The Brewers are 8-2, and I don't know about tonight. This is as of yesterday.
8-3.
They're 8-3. So the Cubs beat them. Is that right?
The Red Sox beat them.
The Red Sox beat them. Okay.
Garrett Crochet pitched, so they won.
Okay.
So the only time they win.
How many runs did they score tonight? Come on, help me out.
3-2 was the final.
All right. So then they've scored 2 more runs, which that makes them 70 runs. Yesterday they had 68 runs, which tied them with the Dodgers for the most in the National League. Geez, these guys baffle me every year. Can you explain to me, how do the Brewers continue to do this?
Couple things. One, their biggest issue a couple years ago, they've won the division, I think, 3 straight years. A couple years ago is they had unbelievable pitching. They had Peralta, they had Corbin Burns, they had Brandon Woodruff. But they didn't have enough runs, so they improved the lineup. So the lineup is very good. They've traded Corbin Burns, they've traded Freddie Peralta. Woodruff is still there. So a big emphasis the last couple of years is to make sure the lineup, they score more runs. So the lineup is very good. But they did play the White Sox the first 3 games of the year and scored 29 runs in 3 games. They will not play the White Sox again this year. They play them once. So everyone else, besides maybe 2 other teams, haven't played the White Sox yet. So that has helped. So if you take away the White Sox, they're 5-3. Just saying. But no, I don't know if you picked to make the playoffs. I had them as a wild card. I did not have them in the division, but I still had them wild card. It's the Brewers. Somehow they're going to do it. And they are very good at developing in the minor leagues. They're just really, really good at that. They have a great farm system.
Yes. Yes, just a couple of reminders here on the baseball front. Last week, we talked about them, the Brewers, signing a kid that's never played a game in not affiliated, in Major League Baseball to a huge contract. You can go back and listen to that. And then we talked about Jose Ramirez in the five Flamin' 5 and 5. We have a new podcast out called The Sports Pulpit. And the newest version of that, which is, those 3 shows we've got out right now, you'll see some more of them this week. I've done some more of them. They are really taking off. All 3 of them have an average of over 100 views. So thank you all very much. 3 brand new shows, and they're taking off. You can listen to the one about Jose Ramirez. That is the 3rd episode of the 3. So, Cheese, the Pirates have scored 8 runs 3 times in their first 9 games. What do you think about that?
It's huge for them. Their lineup has been an issue, I don't know, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
They have developed pitching but not hitting. So scoring runs is big for them. If they score a lot of runs, they will be in the playoffs. No doubt about it. They have a lot of good pitching, a lot of good young pitching. So that is huge for them. That's the key for the Pirates this year is the bullpen and how many runs do they score. I picked them. I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I said next year will be their year. I think that was the year, but I could be maybe their year ahead of time because I worried about the bullpen. I didn't know if the lineup was good enough. You just reading the lineup, it doesn't look sexy, but they're off to a good start.
Right, they're off to a good start, and I've heard the saying on this how many times in sports in general, not just in baseball, but you can, people will say you can't win in like the first month or so, but you can certainly lose it in the first month or so, right? Even with football, when a team starts out 0-3, the last time an 0-3 team made it to the playoffs was, and we start doing those narratives. So getting off to a strong start is important, no matter what team or what sport you are involved in. I want to ask you about this though. Ryan O'Hearn, one of the newest additions, plays right field and first base for them. Mm-hmm. He said this: forget about whatever happened the last few years. I don't care about that. This team is a good team. I'm excited to show up to work every day and go to battle with these guys. Cheese, are you buying that the Pittsburgh Pirates are really early season contenders?
They're a playoff contender. They are not a World Series contender. No, I do not buy that. But what's he going to say? He's not going to say, we're 7-4. By the way, it's still 3rd place because the division's loaded this year. Yeah. But he's not going to say, we're 7-4, but we'll end up 80-82. So I get it. I like the energy. I think it's the most, probably the most excited Pirates fans have been 8, 9, 10 years. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while because they didn't develop bats well. That's been a big problem, and it's turning around. And they have one of the most exciting young players in baseball, in Connor Griffin.
Yes, and they brought him up, I believe, over the weekend. So
gave him 9 years, $140 million. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
You didn't see that? They gave him.
I didn't see that actually.
Yeah, they gave him 9 years, $140 million. And I think it was agreement like, okay, we'll give you a little more money than these other guys signing the, pre-Major League debut contract. Mm-hmm. And then we'll call you up. And then we'll call you right up. You'll be able to call up. Like he wanted to be in baseball. Like, okay, please call me up. I'm tired of playing AAA. But So it was kind of
one of those guys that had nothing really to prove in AAA, right?
He's 19 years old.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So here's
he was a first round pick a year and a half, like 2 years ago out of high school. I'll say this: if you don't know the name Connor Griffin, he has 5-tool potential. He is the best prospect in baseball on every list. Okay, Gold Glove caliber shortstop, hits for power, hits for average. He is going to be one of the faces of baseball for years to come if he hits that ceiling. So,
is he better than Sal Stewart?
He has more tools. Is he? Will they beat him in Rookie of the Year? I don't know. The way Sal Stewart's going, probably not. But who knows?
Okay. The only part of this quote by Ryan O'Hearn that I can't get over is the very beginning of it. He says, "Forget about whatever happened the last few years." Well, that's the problem. I can't forget about whatever has happened to them the last few years. If he would have left that part off and just would have said, "I don't care," about whatever, this, or if he'd have just said, "Hey, this team's good, and I'm excited to show up here every day, and I want to battle with my guys." Okay, I've got that. And like you said, yes, I like that enthusiasm. That's great. But don't say to me, "Hey, just forget about what's happened over the last few years." No, we can't do that, right? And until you prove that the Pirates can actually do something, I'm going to remember all the preceding years.
I think he's just trying to say it's new. We have a different team now. We're not like those other teams. I think that's all he meant by it. But I get what you're saying.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've got this cold thing, allergy thing here.
I just realized my computer's not plugged in, and it's about to die.
All right. Well, you make sure the computer doesn't die, and I'll get us going here on our next stuff. So I'm going to share this graphic with you. I think the old man has figured out how to do this here. So I had a little bit of problem with it earlier, but I think I fixed it. Let's make sure.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will. We're about to find out.
And by the way, anyone watching while you're doing that, when we get to the top 10 mock draft, let us know in the comments. You can influence us. I can be influenced if your team is in the top 10. If you really want me to draft someone, maybe I could be influenced. So let us know in the comments.
All right, so I wanted to share this graphic. Look at that. He's not too bad yet. He's doing it a little. All right, maybe
it's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. There.
Yeah, better than I expected. Yeah.
So these are the MLB power rankings. That I have a real problem with some of these.
Okay.
All right. So let's just go over the list first. You got Yankees, Brewers, Astros, Dodgers, Marlins, Royals, Blue Jays, Braves, Rangers, Cardinals. Wait a minute. This is not the right one.
This can't be right. Marlins.
No, this is not the right one. Hang on.
Didn't you
I
send me?
didn't look at it close enough. I just found a power ranking and said, "Oh yeah, I found it." Click.
Maybe that was the first weekend.
I think that was the first week.
Did you send me one? Did you send me one?
I did. I sent it to you.
Right. I'll send it back to you.
Spring training one.
I can send it back to you.
Oh, let me see. If I did it that way, maybe I can pull it up.
Because that one is,
Now you're going to be able to see everything that I do. I don't want to do all that crud.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it.
Never mind. All right, you got it in front of you, right? We'll just take this off of here. We're good. No, I haven't figured. Well, I did figure out how to do it.
I got it. Here, I'll just send it to you. Okay. On X or email. Which one's better?
Email it to me.
Okay, let me email it to you.
Maybe that was best. I don't know.
Okay, sent. All right. This is great podcasting. Once again,
it is.
We are doing
fantastic podcasting.
We are doing a top 10 mock draft, and both of Mike's teams are picking the top 10 because they're Mike's teams. So let us know in the comments who you want us to pick for your team. We can be influenced. We can, And obviously I'm going to I could mess with Mike. I could pick players that he really doesn't want his team to draft. I've done it on my channel. And but then he's liked the last few picks, so I don't like that. I need to mess with him.
Yeah, okay. I know you sent it to me and you're trying to help me, but I don't know. We're going to be done with this for a second. So we'll just go over everything, right? So I've got
Did you get it
here.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have the right one. You've got the right one. Tell us what the top 10 teams are.
I sent it to your X and email. If that Okay, so we're going to go over the top 10. I got to pull it back up. I just closed it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So top 10, these are power rankings.
I've got it right here too.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So starting at the 10 and going up, all right? So the New York Mets are at 10. The Detroit Tigers are at 9. The Phillies are at 8. The Astros are 7. The Blue Jays are 6. Mariners are at 5. The Braves are at 4. The Brewers are at 3. The Yankees 2, and the Dodgers 1. So I'll go in reverse order here. I'll start at the top. Dodgers, Yankees, Brewers, Braves, Mariners, Blue Jays, and then the bottom 4, Astros, Phillies, Tigers, and Mets. So I've got a problem with a lot of these, actually. But first, Cheese, I want to get your definition. When you are, if I tell you, Cheese, give me the top 10 teams in a power ranking, what are you going to take into consideration when you look at power rankings?
Power rankings mean, I'll just say this, they mean nothing when it comes to the postseason. Like right now,
that's true.
They are a tool to show you who is, in my opinion, the best teams right now.
Okay.
So who are the 10 best teams in baseball right now? That's what a power ranking is. It's basically like a college football top 25 poll. That's what I see it as.
Okay, and I'm right there with you. The big thing that you said that I certainly agree with is right now. The power rankings come out weekly. So then the best teams of that week prior should be on that board. And the ones, if they're on that board and you've got some things wrong with you, which we're going to discuss in a second, you shouldn't be on this board. So let me go with a couple of these here. So number one, I have no problem with Dodgers, Yankees, Brewers, Braves. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Braves are too high.
Okay, so they're too high, but I don't have a problem with them being on this list.
But then looking who's after, it's like maybe they're not.
Right. So number 5 is the Mariners. Okay, and again, not counting the game that may or may not have already concluded tonight. Why are the Mariners on this list? I mean, we both picked them to win the World Series. You can go back and see our show from 2 weeks ago where we did all these picks.
I picked them to go to the World Series.
You didn't pick them to win?
No, I picked the Dodgers to win. Of course, I'm not stupid. The Dodgers are going to win. We all know. But I had them in
the Mariners to win.
We both had them in the World Series. Yes, I know you did. You didn't even have the Dodgers in the World Series. You had
I did not
team.
because I despise them.
Well, I mean, the team you had in is 8-3. So I mean, that's not bad pick right now.
Not a bad pick right at the moment, anyway. So,
yes.
Cheese, would you have the Mariners on this list right now?
Yeah, I would have them on the top 10. I wouldn't probably have them this high, but they're loaded. They have a great lineup. They have really good starting pitching. They're on there because of their success last year. That's what. See, the early power rankings, there's a lot of last season bias,
and there shouldn't be.
No, probably not. But I would have them in the top 10 just because of the talent. But that's why they're 5th right now, is because of. They almost made the World Series. I think they got to. Did the ALCS go to 7 games? I think it did.
Yes.
And they're just they really have a talented team. And I'll just say this: in 2021, the Braves on July 1st were 3 games under 500. They won 89 games. They won the World Series. So even if you're 500 on June 1st or anything, like, especially if you have a talented team, and the Braves did, it's no cause for panic. Like, okay, if you're 2-9 or something, if you're the Giants 1-7 at home, that's concern. But the Mariners, what are they, around 500? I think they're fine.
Mm-hmm. No, they're 4-7.
Oh, okay, it's a little concerning.
Yes, I don't understand why they're on this list. It bothers me that they're on this list. They shouldn't be.
You really care about power rankings. It really bothers you. I can tell.
It bothers me because this is the ranking for every week, right? And I'm trying to give people their just due when they have a good week. I'm trying to give teams who start out 8-3, they should be on this power rankings list.
The fact that the Mariners are 5th and the Reds aren't on there is pretty terrible.
Right. So then it makes me go, okay, is there a conspiracy theory here? I mean, what's going on here, right?
And the Reds made the postseason last year. It's not like they're, the Pirates should be ahead of the Mariners. The Reds should be ahead of the Mariners. The Mets are 10th. They're in first place in the East, a really good division. Cleveland is 7-5. They're not on the list.
Right.
So yeah, it's a terrible list. It's a last year bias list. Because the Blue Jays are 6th, and they're 4-7
yet.
They're 4-7.
Got beat the tar out of by the Dodgers yesterday.
Well, look, once again, I expect the Mariners and Blue Jays to make the playoffs. I do, because their rosters are really good, but they're off to terrible starts. But they shouldn't be on this list.
No. So just to kind of go over everything, and then we'll keep going here, so we can get to our NFL and then get to the mock draft at the end, which I think is going to take a little longer, and some of our other top 10 stuff. So we're going to give it its ample time. Why are the Blue Jays on this list? They have a losing record and a minus 20 run differential. The Tigers have a losing record on the road at 2-5. So here's my list. I would say Dodgers, Yankees, Brewers. That's pretty self-explanatory. The Astros have scored 77 runs, tops in baseball. So I'm going to put them at number 4.
Okay.
I am going to put your Braves at 5, just ahead of the Mets. The Guardians have to be on this list, and they will be at number 7 because they're the lead dog in their division, which is a pretty tough division right at the moment. I would put the Reds at 8, the Phillies at 9, and then I'm going to let you decide the 10th place teams. I'm going to give you 3. Marlins, Pirates, Angels. Before you say anything, the Angels are tied in their division for the lead. The Marlins are doing pretty well until they ran into the Reds. And then the Pirates, as we talked about earlier, they have scored 8 runs 3 times in their first 9 games. Which one of those 3 teams would you put at number 10?
Pirates.
Wow, that was quick.
Absolutely. I can't put the Angels. Come on.
They are.
Although they beat the Braves last night, and they're beating again tonight because the Braves suck. They lost Chris Sale's start, so they're in trouble. I don't think I put the Braves in my top 10. I know they're 6. Well, they're 6-5. It's not like they're. I mean, I think they were 6-2. They've lost 3 straight. But even though they were 6-2, I did not feel confident in them. They'd be lucky to be 500. We did the preview show. I did not pick the Braves to make postseason. There were literally people on X had the Braves 3rd, 4th best chance to win the World Series. And I'm like, why? What are you talking about? They literally had the 7th worst record, 8th worst record in baseball last year. What has changed? How are they good? It makes no sense.
All right, buddy. Baseball time is over. Okay. Football time is now. So let's go ahead and get into it with our NFL 4-down territory.
No, it's 2-1. The Braves got to run.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there.
Right. Now they're going to win the World Series.
Yes. All right, buddy. So you got this football segment. Tell us what we are about to talk about in our NFL 4-down territory.
We're going to talk about Jeremiah Love and his possible destinations. We're going to talk about Jaguars made a very questionable contract extension with an edge rusher. And then we're going to talk about Giants nose tackle Dexter Lawrence has requested a trade. We're going to talk about that first.
Oh, okay. Let's get into Dexter Lawrence, buddy. Go ahead and go.
So, like I said, he has requested a trade. He has been the best nose tackle in the NFL for many years now. I don't think anyone would argue that. He is now 28 years old, but he's coming off a down season. He went from 9 sacks in 2024 to only a half sack in 2025. Plus, according to analytics, he was not very good in the run game, or not as dominant as he was in previous years, because he used to be a very dominant run defender. Despite that, if the Giants decide to trade him, I expect Lawrence to have a big market. Would you want your favorite team to trade for him? And second question is, would you be worried about his drop-off?
28 years old, so I'm not necessarily worried about the drop-off. He's probably not that good player that he was for the first 4 or so years of him being in the league. But I don't know if he's where he was last year. He's probably somewhere in between. So if we look at that, I think your next question is going to be about compensation and what we would expect for that.
Yeah. I'll say this. The Giants, he wants a new contract.
Okay.
The Giants didn't pay Xavier McKinney. They didn't pay Saquon Barkley. They didn't pay Leonard Williams. Their best 2 or 3 players at the time they either trade or let walk. For some reason, the Giants have a philosophy: we're going to pay average starters a lot less money, but still in free agency, we're not going to pay our best players. We're going to let them walk, or we're going to trade. I don't understand that philosophy. It's why they have sucked pretty much for the last 5 or 6 years. Joe Shane has done a terrible job. And Dexter Lawrence has seen that. Like, how can you let Xavier McKinney and Saquon Barkley walk? How can you let them walk and not pay them? But you pay John Runyon Jr. $10 million a year. You pay Devin Singletary $6.5 million a year. Like, what are you doing? Those are average players. So he's seen all these other players get paid and knows he's underpaid right now. 2 years left on his contract, I'm saying, but
okay.
They're obviously, he requests a trade because they're not probably willing to renegotiate. I think that's what it comes down to. Now, before we get into that, like, let's just take the Bengals specifically, because they could use a run-stopping defensive tackle.
Absolutely.
If you're the Bengals, how much draft capital, knowing you have the 10th pick this year, obviously future picks, 10th pick of the second round, like how much draft capital, if you're the Bengals GM, would you give them?
Oh boy, this is a great question.
He would probably change that whole defense if they got it. They do not have a defensive tackle. Turdell Slayton sucks at their nose tackle. He's terrible. I'm sorry. Don't be too brilliant on us, but he is. He sucks.
Is that a position though? Okay, so you say it changes the whole offensive line.
The defensive line, yeah.
I'm sorry, the defensive line. Thank you. Yes, but does that give them more wins? I mean, okay, so it changes the line a little. Does changing the line equate to more wins in your book?
So you have to double team him. Most plays, especially on run plays. So Jonathan Allen's going to get more rushes. Bowie Mafe is going to get more one-on-one rushes.
Okay.
You have to account for him. It's not just adding him. It's okay, so we don't have to double Jonathan Allen. We don't have to double Bowie Mafe. I mean, we can't. So not we don't have to. We have to make sure Dexter Lawrence doesn't beat us. We've seen what he does in the past. So it would change the defense, and it starts on the D line. And I think it would completely change their defense. How much draft capital? There's no way they're giving up the 10th pick.
No.
There's no way. That's a pretty valuable pick. I know it's a weak first round, but by 14, 15, it could really drop off. So they're not giving up a pick that valuable. But what do you think about this? Their second round pick this year, maybe a conditional first next year, depending on playing time, or maybe even a second this year and a first next year. Do you think that's enough? You'd have to pay him. He'll want a new contract. Would you do that if you're the Bengals GM?
Oh man. This is a basket that I'm not sure if I'm willing to put all my eggs in. I mean, I know you love linemen, and this is like one of your specialties is you really break down these guys and everything else. I'm not that talented. I don't know them as well, but I do know that that's what they need. So I'd be willing to do the second this year and the second next year. You think that would be enough?
No.
To get him?
I don't think it'll be enough. And that's the problem. That's why I don't necessarily think he's going anywhere. He's under contract for 2 more years. What else is he going to do? And here's the point. They don't have to trade him this before the draft. Mm-hmm. They don't have to. They can trade him for future picks. It's not a strong first round. So they can say, okay, fine. Where's he going to go? You have to play out your contract and he'll have to report, So it's not like where he's going to be a free agent end of the year like Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals absolutely should have traded him last year. I know you agree. He's 2 years left. So they don't have to trade him before the draft. So I think they're going to sit back and see if they get blown away. Hopefully John Harbaugh's, I'm sure he's smarter than Joe Shane, the GM. I'm sure he is. And say, okay, make us an offer we can't refuse. No, I don't think 2 seconds will do it. I think 2 seconds and a good player would do it, but the Bengals aren't going to give up they'll probably ask for like DJ Turner. They're not going to do that, No way.
It's a purpose.
Yeah, then they have a weakness at corner. So, I I think it's just about a contract. I think he wants a new contract and he wants to be traded. He wants to see what like Micah Parsons. Okay, Packers traded for him and then paid him. I think that's what he wants. So I think
what if I give them the second this year, the second next year, and then that conditional pick that comes along with Trey Hendrickson?
You're getting closer, I think. I think they want at least one first, but if you trade 2 2s and a 3, I think that possibly could get it done. Now, one more point about him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I think his drop off was. I'd have to go back and watch the film in the summer. Once all this is done, I go back and watch every team. I don't watch every game, but I watch every game. And I remember watching Arizona Cardinals, thinking their offensive coordinator is a freaking idiot. But there were 2 things that I just noticed: the Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator is an idiot, and the Jaguars defensive coordinator last year was an idiot. They replaced him, and the Cardinals now have replaced their offensive coordinator. Thank God. But anyway, but I think the effort was a question. I think he was mad with this contract. I heard rumblings that he wasn't happy with all these other worse players getting paid more than him. I think it was more of an effort. I think especially when they were out of the playoffs, I think he checked out. And I think if he goes to a better team, a playoff team that's willing to pay him, I think he will return at least close to what he was. So the drop off doesn't concern me too much. And he's only 28 years old. So, But it's interesting. It's something that the Giants, it creates a whole new thing. Like they can sit there and listen and they don't have to trade him. And if they get blown away, I think they would move him. But he doesn't have a lot of leverage is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk Jaguars.
I love it. Let's do it.
They signed Ed Rusher, Travon Walker, 4 years, $110 million extension. With $77 million guaranteed.
Ouch.
It makes I was shocked. The fact that he extended him had me mildly surprised. When I saw the money, I was shocked. It makes him the 12th highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. Now, Walker was the first overall pick in the 2022 draft, despite every single draft analyst including myself, having Aiden Hutchinson as the best player. But former GM Trent Baalke, he got fired last year, he made the selection at the time. I think this is a massive overpay. What do you think, Mike?
Well, first of all, let me make a correlation here from earlier in the show. The last first-round pick to not show up at the actual NFL draft was Travion Walker.
Yeah.
Just making that correlation there for a moment. What was your actual question to me, though? Would you ask?
Think it's an overpay? I mean, 4 years, $110 million.
Well, of course it's an overpay. Not only is it an overpay in the actual money itself, but the guaranteed money is the part where it's an overpay. I mean, if you want to give him incentives to reach his $110 million, and if he does it, then he's become that number one guy. Okay, I get that one. But 77 of the 110 is guaranteed. That's the part where I'm like, really? That's outrageous.
Do you think that because he was the first overall pick, that's why he got so much money? Like if he was a third rounder, for example, like a late third rounder, like the 94th pick, that he wouldn't have gotten paid as much? You think the fact that he got drafted first overall matters and got him more money?
I don't know. We shared notes ahead of time, and I really pondered this question because, as you said, the old GM is not there anymore. So why do they need to make him look good? But at the same point, it is still the franchise, and I'm sure there were other people in the room going, "Yeah, this is our pick, man. We don't care what the draft analysts like Cheese say. He's that Cheese is stupid. We ain't paying any attention to him, right?" So I get where you're coming from, and I understand it. I know that happens a lot, especially when you make a trade. Because you have to look like, I made the trade for this guy. This guy is our new guy, and he's going to, okay. But I don't know if it's that way with a draft pick. You would know kind of more about the draft pick part of it than what I would. What do you think?
So here's the thing with Travon Walker. He was on one of the best college defenses I've ever seen. Georgia won the national title.
Mm-hmm.
But he was probably the third best defensive lineman on that team. And he went first overall. After the national title game, I saw mocks. I saw big boards. Packers pick late in that first round, going to the Packers. He was the most common player drafted was Packers late first round. I saw some second round mocks. And then he goes to the combine and has the best workout a pass rusher's ever had. And all of a sudden, Jaguars were the favorite to take him number one. Trent Baalke, that's this guy. Trent Baalke, analytical guy. He likes athletes more than football players. Like this guy, I mean, his RAS, his relative athletic score is 9.9, like 99.9 percentile. Okay. But if you watch Georgia, he just wasn't even close to the best player on the field. There were some people who thought he was the seventh best player on that team, on that defense. I pulled up some stats for him. Mm-hmm. He does have, he had in 2023, 10 sacks, 10 and a half sacks in 2024. So he's had double-digit sacks twice. But last year, only 3.5. He has been a solid player. I'd say above average. There are some games where he looks very good. He gets a lot of pressure. And there are games where he just disappears. So overall, I think he's been a good pass rusher. I don't think he's a very good run defender. And I think this is one of the stupidest contracts I've ever seen in my entire life. I honestly, if you signed him to like 4 years, $70 million, I thought it would have been overpaid. 4 years, $110. So let me ask you this, Mike, because this is what I think is going on. Okay. And I want to get your take. Do you think this is like a PR move? Like meaning we know we made a mistake. Aiden Hutchinson went second overall. He is one of the best defensive players in the game. Tremendous for the Lions. Obviously, he should have been the pick. Everybody knows that. The time knew it. Everybody knows it now. But if we throw enough money at Walker, it'll show the fans, oh, we believe in him. We didn't screw up. Do you think this is more of a PR move?
I mean, it very well could be. That's the only way I can think to even begin to explain this move. I'm not near as much football as you are, and I wouldn't have. I'd have been like his agent, and they'd have offered me this, and I'd have been like, what? Excuse me? You're offering my client what again? I'm sure. We're going to sign that right now. Give me that, right? So that's the only way I can explain it to people. And especially teams like the Jaguars, all right? But let's face it. Not a great run organization, right?
Had a good year. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, but until this year, they've been one of the 4 or 5 laughing stocks of the NFL.
Sure.
So
for about a decade now.
Yeah.
They've had a couple good teams where like 2 years where they look like they made the playoffs and look decent, won a playoff game, but other than that, they've been a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, but I seem to say this every week. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, right? I mean, so
everyone but the Jets has made the playoffs in the last 10 years. So yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that their franchises run well. It just means they got lucky or, something like that. So
division could be weak.
Correct. I mean, this is an overpay. We both know it's an overpay. Everybody watching this show knows it's an overpay. So now they have to go with it. I mean, they've made the mistake. Now they're doubling down, right? And it's like the boss that says, oh no, we hired this person to take that spot and we picked them over you. And even though we all know they suck and that you should have got that job, now they have to double down and be like, oh, well, now we got to give that person a raise. And, now we give them a nice corner office. And, now we give them just to make their pick look good. And I think that's exactly, you're right. I think it's exactly what the Jaguars are doing right now.
This almost reminds me of when GMs make a terrible first round pick and they still pick up the 5th-year option because they want to look like, oh, I did get it right. Oh, we picked up the 5th-year option. And then the local reporters all report, oh, well, they've improved, or they justify it somehow. And they want to show the fans, oh, look, no, we picked up the 5th-year option. No, he is good. He's not a bust. That's what I thought when I saw this. It's like, you could have just picked up the 5th-year option, let him be a free agent next year. But I'm shocked, and it will go down as one of the dumbest decisions to pass on Aiden Hutchinson. It will go down still. It doesn't matter how much you pay him. It will go down as one of the stupidest draft moves, like top 3 in recent memory. Okay. Let's talk Jeremiah Love. Oh, do you have something else? You good?
No, sir, I'm good. Go ahead. You
Oh,
can go
okay,
to
okay.
Jeremiah Love. I had myself on mute. I was doing a thing over here. So
It looked like you were about to say something.
True.
I'm like, Mike's got one more point. Okay.
No, but it's season 2, episode 8, sir.
8. Yes. Yes. By now, if this is a streaming show, there's been a big twist.
Right?
Yes. Mike really has hair.
No,
What?
no, he doesn't. No.
No, he doesn't. Okay. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame running back, is expected to be a top 10 pick in the 2026 draft. I think most people think that. I do as well. His projected range is between picks 4 and 10. He has even visited or scheduled a visit with the Titans at 4, Giants at 5, and your Bengals at number 10. So what we're going to do quickly here, we're going to break down the 4 to 10 range and see where he could possibly go before we get to our mock draft.
Yeah, this will be a good lead in for it.
So I think you agree he's not going top 3, even though the Jets and Cardinals may need a running back in the future, but they're not. They're going to take a defensive player probably, right?
They're not going to take a running back, especially not the Cardinals. They signed the other Atlanta Falcon running back from last year, so they're not taking a running back now. Not this
Tyler Algier. Yeah, it's not a need. It's not a need for either team. The Jets franchise Brees Hall. Okay, so Titans. So there's been some rumors that he could go this high. Are you buying this? Could you see them taking him or no? They're just too high.
I wouldn't take him this high. Okay. I almost, and I'm going to throw the wrench into this whole thing maybe, but and I can't think of his name right at the moment, but I think the second running back there at Notre Dame impressed me a lot as well.
Darian Price, yes.
Pick him in the 3rd or 4th round, and I think your 3rd or 4th round evaluation or the value of that round, picking the second Notre Dame running back there would probably be better than picking Jeremiah Love this high in the draft.
Jadarian Price won't be there in the 4th round. He might not be there in the 3rd round. I think he's a 2nd round pick. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But you might be able to get him in the 2nd round. Okay. Giants are been rumored to be a destination. Do you think they're worried about Cam Scadaboo's injury? Because if Cam Scadaboo is healthy, I don't. This wouldn't make sense to me. What do you think?
No, I think they're going to ride with Scadaboo, and even if he is injured, there's going to be plenty of running backs that come out next year, and they're still going to stink. So they'll have a decent pick next year if that's really what they want to do. So they'll wait and try to get a different player this year, not a running back.
If all the Giants needs, if they take a running back when they have Cam Scadaboo, if he's healthy, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, Browns, no way, right? They drafted Quinshon Judkins in the 2nd round last year, Dylan Sampson the 4th, right? No chance.
Yeah, no chance here.
All their needs, there's no way. That would be ridiculously stupid. Okay, Number 7, Commanders has huge need. Running back is one of their biggest needs, but they don't have a 2nd or 4th round pick. Do you see the Commanders as a logical choice?
I see them as a choice. A logical choice, we might be stretching it, but I do see them as a choice. I would be interesting to be a person in their room if he's still there at number 7. That'd be an interesting place to be at that particular moment.
They really need a number 2 receiver. They have some defensive holes. Like I wonder what the room would be like if Cardinal Tate and Jeremiah Love are both there. I wonder what the room. I'd like to see the war room and hear everything they say. And there are going to be people probably fighting for both, but they need another offensive weapon. Okay. Number 8, Saints. They signed Travis Etienne for agency. They're out, correct? You agree?
Yes, they're out.
Okay. Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP, so they're out.
Same as Saints. They're out. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, Bengals. Okay.
Wonder why you set this up so well.
This is the whole point of this because I wanted to get your take on this. We briefly talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I really want to go more in depth here. So I was surprised Jeremiah Love is visiting the Bengals. They have Chase Brown. He's a good player. I don't think he's a top 10 running back, but he's a good running back. He's at least, he's good, right? He's just not great. I don't think he's got elite vision or anything. He's not Jeremiah Love. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So my question for you is, how excited would you be if that is the pick for the Bengals?
You are killing me with this question. You know you are.
I wanted to ask this so bad.
Do they really need another? How many points do they think they have to score to win? But I will say this, man, what an offense this team would have if they could put Jeremiah Love and add him to the mix. And you've already got a running back. It's not like Jeremiah Love has to come in day one and be your main guy. It's not like the Raiders with Ashton Genty. So you could ease him in a little bit. He could almost be like your second running back for the first 5-6 games of the year until he gets everything going, and then you start handing him first down carries and stuff like that. It's tempting, but I think they need defense more.
They do.
But it's tempting.
It could be the best player. And here's the thing. I'm going to say two things. One let's talk about Love first.
Okay.
Can you imagine the play action? Can you imagine the play action game and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins getting one-on-one coverage? Because you can't just let Jeremiah. Here's the thing: is like you cannot let Jeremiah Love just run for 150 yards. You cannot drop back in coverage and just let him run down your throat if you have someone like that. So, okay, so we have to bring another guy in the box. We have to play cover 3. We have to do something. We have to get another safety in the box. And here's another point. Chase Brown, you have 2 of probably the best 10 receiving backs in the NFL. So every time a running back's out there, assuming one of them is out there at all times, they're a receiving threat because Chase Brown's a very good receiving back. Jeremiah Love can run routes. He's not Christian McCaffrey, but he can run routes. So that threat is there. So you have to account for that. If they pass, okay, we have to cover that running back. It would create, like, defensive coordinators would have heart attacks the week of
their hair would be like mine.
Even with the offensive line being like maybe average at best, it still would be like, what do we do? Like your game plan, if the offensive coordinator, you could focus on Love, you could focus on Higgins, you could focus on Chase. There's so many things you could do, and it would just be so fun to watch. But I agree. I think defense is a bigger need. But the fact they bring him in for a visit, they're thinking if he falls and some of our other defensive studs that we love aren't there, maybe it's a false flag. I don't know. Would you buy his jersey if they? Would you buy his jersey if they?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm not a big jersey person per se, but I was ready to buy Hutchinson's jersey, or not Hutchinson. Daggone it, Henderson's jersey, Hendrickson's jersey. Yeah.
Good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't.
Yes. But knowing that Love's going to be there for what, 4 years, right?
Well, five at the 5th-year option, probably at least 5.
Yeah.
And if they don't screw it up, hopefully longer.
It is the Bengals, sir.
Jesse Bates should have been. Jesse Bates should still be there. Why didn't they extend Jesse Bates? Oh my God. Anyway,
I would be more inclined to buy his jersey knowing he's going to be there for a while than I would anybody else's. How about that?
I get that. Okay, one thing you mentioned is you like some defensive players more. So I'm going to put a defensive player next to Love, one that might be there at 10. You tell me which one you would prefer. So right. Jeremiah Love or edge rusher Ruben Bain from Miami. Who would you prefer to draft?
I think you can get other edge rushers that are pretty close to Bain later on in the draft. So I would actually pick Love over Bain if he's the only one there that so if I've got 3 defensive people on my board and he's right there, I think I would pick Love over Bain.
Okay. How about Ohio State safety Caleb Downs?
Wow. This one's a hard one. No, I'm going to pick Caleb Downs.
I mean, that's a good problem to have if both of those players are still there.
Yes, but I mean, you're asking me to pick between like 1A and not even 1B, like 1A.1 or something. I mean,
what if they're both there and the Bengals pick someone else?
Oh my gosh. Just shoot me now.
I just had a thought. It's the Bengals. I really think last year I thought they were going to pick Walter Nolan. I honestly did. He went to pick before to Arizona. So I think they kind of panicked and picked Shamar Stewart, which looks like a reach now. I really think – I don't know what you think, but I think Walter Nolan was their guy, and Arizona snaked him.
Yeah,
but
I think so too. But
We'll never know.
That's my other team, so I've been happy with both. So
yeah. One more person. Okay.
Sure.
Bengals. They have DJ Turner, but they really need another corner. So what about Mansur Delane versus Jeremiah Love?
Okay, so this is the one that's a no-brainer for me. You take the best corner on the market that's available. I think corner lasts longer than running back. I think corner is more important than running back, at least to the Bengals right the moment, because they have a 12 to 15 guy at running back right now. You don't have a 12 to 15 corner. There's no thought process here. If Mansour's there, you take him.
Okay. It's not a premium position, but I get it.
It is in that division.
Well, the thing is, it's not, according to most teams. But if you look at the teams that won the last 2 Super Bowls, well, 3 if you count the Chiefs, they had elite cornerback play. The Chiefs 2 years ago, last year with the Eagles, and the Seahawks this past year. All 3 teams had elite cornerback play, and they won the Super Bowl. So while you don't necessarily need to have, if you play a lot of zone, great corners, it's certainly great if you do. Howdy, Mr. First Down. We're about to do our mock draft, so let us know who you want us to take for the Titans. Let us know.
Yeah, go ahead. I've already got my guy picked, so you ain't changing my mind, but you might change Cheese's mind.
So the point, one more thing about the Bengals. I think 10 is a great spot. I think I'm going to have 11 players in my tier and then a big drop off. So I think 10 is a great spot. I think the Bengals are in a really good situation. But if they pick the right pick, who knows?
I was going to say, just because they're in a good situation doesn't mean nothing to that franchise. All right, so we are ready to do our draft, sir?
We're ready to do our top 10 mock draft. Once again, in the comments, let us know. We can be influenced. Yes, we're sell out. We can sell out. Yeah, we will sell out. Influence. Let us know. Oh, apparently Mike not. Mike's already no. You're not.
I've pretty much already decided.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to send me something good, maybe. Okay. So I see your spot, Mr. First Down. We're going to. I will wait until we get to your pick, and then I'll put your comment up. So don't think I'm not. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm going to wait till we get to your pick. Cheese, you want to start with number 1 and go down to 10,
yes.
Right?
I want to go out of 10. I want to end with the Bengals. We've really hyped them up. I think that's a really important pick for the organization. They underachieved. They're better than the 10th worst team in the NFL. If they nail this pick, they get an immediate starter, impact player. I think it can really help them. So and then we all know who number 1 is going to be. We're going to have the same number 1.
We are going to have the same number 1. I don't know if we're going to have the same number 2 or not, but we are going to have the same number 1.
You got to put up his last comment. You got to put it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked away. Hang on.
You got to put his last comment.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so Mr. First Down has interesting. I was going to do someone else. Maybe I could be influenced. He's making me think. And, he's making me think. I'm using my brain, Mike.
Oh, better stop doing that. You're going to hurt yourself. So we are doing no trades, by the way, in this.
No trades, yes.
In this mock. So, yes, Mr. First Down, he is right again.
The Cowboys are calling. Cowboys are calling.
By the way, if you have not seen his latest, well, it's not the latest one. He does do the mock draft Monday. This past Monday, just a couple days ago, he did. If Dallas trades up, who are they going to trade with? What would they get? And then who would they pick with that trade they would make? It's interesting. He's got them doing 4 trades, right? Or 3?
3. Well, actually, I'm going to ask you about that. I meant to. I forgot to put in the notes, but I had them. They are looking at a lot of players that could go in the top 5, and they picked 12 and 20. So my thinking is they're moving up. So I had 3 scenarios, moving up to 2, 3, and 4. And I had Arizona. I had them moving up to 3 at Arizona, moving back to 12 and taking Vega Ione, the guard from Penn State. I want to get your take on that. What do you think about taking guard that high? And I think it's a huge need for the Cardinals. Would you like that move? Would you be okay with that and getting the Packers first rounder next year? Because that was what I did in the trade.
Sorry. I know a guard is what they need, but I don't know if that's what I want. There we go. Now we got our stuff up there. I just realized we didn't have it up there until just now.
Okay.
You're right. The guard is not a premium position per se. So I'm not sure if I really want that or not. I'm going to go no.
Okay.
Keep the third pick. You can get a really good player with that third pick, and the only way I'm going to, it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Giants and their defensive lineman earlier. If I can be wowed by something, okay, you can have the third pick. But you're going to have to wow me right at the moment in order to take that third pick away from me.
So you want more than the Packers first rounder next year is what you're saying. You need to get more than that.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, let's get going. Yes, I'm not a fan of this draft, Mr. First Down, either, especially in the first round. But I love the depth. I love the mid rounds. I love rounds 3, 4, 5. I really like for this draft. There's a lot of solid starters in this draft. There's not a lot of great, flashy players.
Okay, but that means you can just get good players in rounds 2, 3, 4, right?
I think you're in great shape if you have a lot of second, third, fourth round picks. I think trading down, especially you're not in the top 10, I think you want to trade down and get a lot of mid round picks. I think that's where the strength of the draft is. Some drafts by mid third round, you're out of guys that can start. You're just looking at backups, fill-in players, special teamers. In other drafts like this one, I think late fourth round, you're still going to find guys that can probably start, but it's just so weak at the top. And next year should be, you never know, but it should be insanely good. Not just a quarterback, like loaded, because there's some really good players that stayed in school because of NIL.
All right. Without further ado, sir, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first and pick the same pick?
I think I'll go first on this one because I want to pick the Bengals before you. I want to pick your teams before you. So
Okay,
I'm going to go first in this. I have Fernando Mendoza going number 1 to the Raiders. We know it's going to happen. Who do you have?
Fernando Mendoza. He's going to go to the Raiders. Yeah, we'll just move on. There's no need to be on this pick very long.
Mr. First Down, I agree. I love the depth at wide receiver and corner. Interior offensive lineman, especially guard, I absolutely love in the mid rounds in this draft. Okay, my number 2. They could go a number of ways. There's no clear-cut number 2, but the upside of Arvell Reese is tremendous to me. He's shown us enough that I think he can be an elite edge rusher in the NFL. I think he's a very good off-ball linebacker. I think he's a weapon you can use in so many ways. You can play a system where he shows blitz on every play and either rushes or drops, and you have to account for him because he's that good. So you have to make sure you have a running back or tight end to pick him up, maybe double team him. And if he drops in coverage, well, then someone else on the other side of the line might be one-on-one. You can, and then you drop in coverage. He can cover. He's such a weapon. I think you can do more with him. I think it's the pick I would make because of that, because of his versatility, because of what you can do. And I'm going to give a comp. You ready?
Yep.
Von Miller.
Ooh.
He reminds me a little of Von Miller, who was an off-ball linebacker, became an edge rusher in the NFL from Texas A&M. He's a little bit bigger than Von Miller, but I see a lot of the same. Well, who do you got, number 2?
Well, I've got the same guy you do. I just don't think the Jets can pass on him. I hope they do because I really want him to fall to the Cardinals at number 3, but I don't think they can. I mean, because he's a junior, it's a little bit of potential overproduction right at the moment, but I think if you put him in the right spot, you put him on a defense that's honestly, it's not like the Jets defense is terrible. I'll say it this way. Their defense was not the reason they lost a bunch of games. How about that? So you put him there, he can really make a difference on that defense. He can shine for the New York Jets. And it's like you said, somebody's going to have to be open. So, you can't cover everybody. You got to double team somebody and all of those kinds of things. So I really think he's going to make a big splash on that team, especially if they put him at edge rusher, which I hope any team that gets him does.
Oh, they will. If he's going that high, he's an edge rusher. Okay. Number 3, this is tough. I just don't know what Monty Ossenfort's thinking for the Arizona Cardinals at 3. I don't know if he's going to put a premium position ahead of maybe the best player. There's 4 or 5 guys it could be, I think. I don't think you're going right tackle. I think those mocks are just, when you're right tackle, throw it in there. No, it's not the value. I'm going to go David Bailey from Texas Tech. I think Monty's going to go premium position. They need an edge rusher. He's a terror. I wish he had better counter moves, and he's not the best run defender. And I don't know if this will be. I just don't know. But for now, I'm going to go David Bailey because he wins quickly. He wins fast. He's just an absolute beast. Unbelievable first step. So I'll go David Bailey, edge rusher, Texas Tech to the Cardinals.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Rhett Lewis's draft over on NFL.com just to give him a little plug. And he is calling. I'm sorry.
No, I just agree. Mr. First Step thinks Maui Noah. I'm not as high as Maui Noah. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So he calls Styles a defensive cornerstone. And I think he is. Sonny Styles is who the Arizona Cardinals are going to pick at number 3. I want that off-ball guy. I want the guy who can make the tackle if the running back just happens to get through the first line of defense. He steps up and does that. Wow, I'm really behind on these. On this.
I've been looking at him. He said Maui Noah. I don't think Maui Noah is a top 10 player in this draft. I think he might even be a guard. But Sonny Styles, I'll say this. Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles are higher on my board than David Bailey. I just decided to go with the premium pick, but Sonny Styles, if I was Arizona, I would probably take Sonny Styles. This is a projection, though. So many teams just go with premium positions, but Sonny Styles, you've heard my comp. Brian Urlacher is my comp for him. Mm-hmm. And we all know how good Brian Urlacher was. So, yeah, he might be one of those rare talents. So speak of Sonny Styles, because the Cardinals went with David Bailey, I got him going 4th to the Titans. I know Mr. First Down thinks Carnell Tate. I just think it's too high. I'm not sure if he can be a number 1 receiver. I like Carnell Tate. I just don't like him this high. And Sonny Styles is just, like you said, he's 6'4", 245, safety athleticism. He's really good in coverage. He's really good against the run. He's maybe not the best blitzer, but I don't see why he can't become that. He's just, like I said, I compare him to Brian Urlacher. Okay, that should be enough. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I want to go back to Sonny for just a second. I also want to pick Sonny because I think you put Budda Baker and Sonny Styles right there together and just dare people. I mean, basically put both of them in.
Throw the ball in the middle of the field.
Come on. Let's see what happens, right? Yeah. Especially some of the quarterbacks that seem to make some mistakes in the league that we're in right at the moment. So, yeah, you're probably going to disagree with me, and I'm sure that. Let's see here.
This draft is really hard to pinpoint. Mr. First Down, I agree. It's so hard to pinpoint. It's going to be about, like, every team has different boards. Like, what is the best fit for us? Because there's not much difference probably between 2 and 10. There really isn't. I think Arvell Reese, I mean, maybe he's a little different, but for the most part, I could see Ruben Bain going top 4. I could see him falling out of the 10, maybe past 10. But there's not a ton of difference. And it's all about fit. It's what the team likes, but also what fits their system.
Yeah, you're going to have to help me on the first name. The last name is really easy that I'm giving to the Tennessee Titans because I agree with Mr. First Down. You have to support their new quarterback. I'm not sure if I want to support him with a running back, but I do want to support him with a wide receiver. And I want to support him with a wide receiver that smells good too, right? So I'm going to pick Lemon.
Makai Lemon.
Yes, Makai.
4th overall.
Makai Lemon is going to go 4th overall to the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, we got to hear what Mr. First Down thinks about that. Wow. Well, he's taken a lot of top 10 visits, so I think he's going to go very high. Wow, that is interesting. Okay. Well, there's our first surprise of the top 10. So I think the Giants wanted Sonny Styles. Not there. So, we both have him gone. Giants are I don't know how much influence Harbaugh has. I don't know if – I just don't know if Wanda Robinson's going to play more slot. Like, I think Makai Lemon's more of a slot. I just don't know if he's going to play the slot. So we'll
Travis,
see. I think
fantastic, buddy.
I think if yes, I think if the Titans do go receiver, I think it would be safe over Lemon. But you never know. This is why this is fun. Yeah, he's so dangerous after the catch, Makai Lemon. So
he's a dynamic playmaker, is what he is.
He is. The Giants could go in so many ways. I wanted to do Sonny Styles to be easier for me, but I could not. Like, the Titans can't pass on Sonny Styles, so I couldn't do that. So I should have planned this better. Giants really need another. Let's help Jackson Dart out. We need a number 2 receiver. We're going Carnell Tate. We're going Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State. He'd be such a good fit in their system. They need a number 2 receiver besides Malik Neighbors, and they're very different style. So yeah, let's get Jackson Dart some help. Let's go Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Okay. I'm liking this. We are not going to match here for the second pick as well. Okay. For this pick number 5 for the Giants. I agree with you. The Giants could have gone so many different ways. And I have got them going in a way that's going to help their quarterback and a young receiving core, but on the defensive side.
Oh.
Because when you can cut down the number of seconds that the other quarterback has to make a decision, then you give them the ball back faster and you give them more opportunities to score. So if you get a guy like David Bailey from Texas Tech and you put him on the edge and let him just feast, I believe that will cause the offense of the other team to give them a few more chances to score. And right at the moment, that's what the Giants need, is as many chances to score as possible. Give me David Bailey, edge rusher, Texas Tech, at number 5 to the New York Giants.
So the only way I think that happens is if they trade Kayvon Thibodeaux, because I think edge rusher is actually one of their strengths. I get it. He might be the best player on the board, and they might just do that. Mm-hmm. But Thibodeaux, there's been rumors they're shopping him. If they do shop him and get a lot for him, I could see them doing that. But yeah, he might be the best player on the board. Okay. Browns need everything.
Poor
and
Browns.
Then some. And then some. Okay, Andrew Berry's a terrible GM. So what I'm doing here is trying to pick a terrible pick. Like, who would be the stupidest pick they could possibly do? Because he has this weird analytical model. I hope he's not just incompetent. I hope it's just he just has this terrible analytical model that tells him to draft. He's obsessed with 20, 21-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And he does off-the-ball things. He's going to take – I can't even find him. I'm trying to keep up. I'm making my draft over here on my other computer. I can't even find him. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle, Georgia. I don't have him. He's even a top 2 tackle in this class. I think he's probably more in the 20s, but it's the Browns. They need a left tackle. It's such an Andrew Berry pick. Very talented, huge upside, huge risk. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle, Georgia, to the Browns.
So you're basically doing this because you know the Browns are a terrible organization. They're going to make a terrible pick.
Yes. I'm trying to think what I would not do. What would Cheese not do?
All right. So to me, and honestly, this one was the no-brainer of the first round, at least of these top 10 picks. You've got a quarterback that you have really no idea who you're going to start. I mean, come on, it's up in the air. Is there off an injured quarterback going to be back? They're saying maybe he will. The Shador might be there. You've got the guy from Oregon who might be there. Nobody knows who's going to be under center for any given day in the Cleveland Browns organization.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel's the guy from Oregon, yes. So I at least want to have a target for them to throw to. This is easy for me. Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver. Put him in Cleveland. Tell him that you're sorry. Get him a lifetime supply of Kleenex tissues, and let him go play for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, if the if Sonny Styles was there, I would have had him the Giants, and I would have had Carnell Tate to the Browns. But it didn't happen, so they had to pivot. Okay. So here's where I'm going to end the Jeremiah Love. His fall will end. I think Washington was probably going to want to trade down. They don't have a second or fourth round pick. Second is for Laramie Tunsil. So once again, this draft, mid rounds is where you want picks. So I think they're going to try to trade down. I'm not sure who will trade up. But if they keep it, I'm going to go Jeremiah Love, running back Notre Dame. It's a need. They have okay running backs. It's not like a terrible group. You know, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, I think, was a really good 7th-round pick. Last year was a great 7th-round pick. But Jeremiah Love would help out Jay Daniels, help that offense so much. So, yeah, I got him going 7th to Washington. And one more point. Adam Peters is the GM. He used to be with the assistant GM in San Francisco, and they had Christian McCaffrey. They similar type running back. He's not as good as McCaffrey, but similar type style running back. Can run, can catch, can do it all.
Okay, you gave me enough time, I think, to yes, there we go. All right.
Okay, you're welcome.
You probably saw me typing, and you were like, "Oh,
I may have. I know what to look for by this point. We've been doing this, a year now. So
yeah, no big deal. So Washington, of course, is the next pick on the board. They have pick number 7. This was the one that was the most difficult for me because I gave really big consideration to Jeremiah Love here for Washington at number 7 and decided against it. I want them to have a better defense. Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And they've got a really good edge rusher that has not had a great couple of years, but I think if you put somebody else opposite Chase Young, then you'll not only help the edge rusher on that side, but you'll kind of revive Chase Young in the last few years of his deal with Washington.
Well, Chase Young is on the Saints, but
is he? I thought he was in Washington.
No, he is on the Saints. He hasn't been Washington for several years. But edge rusher is huge need for them. They signed Adofe Owe in free agency.
I don't know who plays there, but you can't pronounce them, so that's okay.
No, it's still a need. They signed Adofe Owe in free agency, but they could absolutely use another edge rusher. So it's definitely a possibility that they could go in this draft. They signed a lot of free agent defensive players. They signed Leah Chanel, but they still need a lot on defense. Nick Cross, but yeah, edge rusher is definitely a possibility. So who you got?
I'm going to give him Ruben Bain.
Okay.
So I think that's a really good spot for them, and they're going to choose him over Jeremiah Love, which I think some people in that room might disagree with, and some people in our chat might disagree with, but that's where I'm going to go. Ruben Bain, number 7, Washington Redskins. Oh, Commanders.
No, Redskins, you got it right. I think they would take Carnell Tate. I really do, if he was there.
They've had a pretty good run with Ohio State receivers.
Just a feel, yes, they have. Just a feeling for what they need. They really need number 2 receiver. It's been a problem for years. Tam McLaurin got hurt last year, and that was a big problem. They didn't have anybody really. So I think they would take Tate. We both had him gone, so they weren't. Otherwise, that's what I would have had to pick. So now we have the Saints, and once again, they need a lot. They need a lot. I'm torn on this pick. They have Chase Young, who we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
They could use, and Carl Granderson, he's got to be old, right? They could use an edge rusher. So they could use Ruben Bain. The problem with Ruben Bain, I think he may fall just because of the short arms. Although, for someone who's got such a good power move, I think when you have a really good power move, the short arms doesn't matter as much. But still, it could be a factor. Some teams might move him down the board. So I'm not going to go Ruben Bain here. I'm going to go the best player on the board. Wait. Yeah. I think Mansour Lane is very possible. Corner is a big need for them.
Mm-hmm.
But Caleb Downs is just too good to pass up. It's too good. I know they have Justin Reed. Could use another safety beside him. So I'm going to go Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State. He's Probably going to be in my top 3 overall. Obviously, safety's not a premium position, but someone's going to get a steal if he does not go top 5. He's just so good. He influences the game. He can play in the slot. He can play deep safety. He's such a good run defender, such a good tackler. So he's just one of those guys that he could be a top safety in the NFL on day one. And we talked about Sonny Styles. It doesn't matter what position you play. Like, if you make that impact, why are you not drafting him? So I'll take Caleb Downs to the Saints.
Okay. The Saints have a problem. The problem in the Saints is they don't have a really good quarterback. And
they have Tyler Shough. They have Tyler Shough. They drafted last year.
As just like I said, they don't have a very good quarterback. Thank you for the example. But if you don't have a good quarterback and you're not going to reach for Ty Simpson at this point, so why don't you take someone who is the best player on the board to protect that quarterback that you do have? So I'm going to give them Francis Mauigoa. I believe it's how you say his name.
Yep.
And put him out there. I mean, would you agree best lineman to protect your quarterback on the board?
I would not have him as best lineman on the board, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
I'm not as high on him as some. As you'll see, I don't even know if he'll make my top 15. I watched a lot of Miami film. I was I'm a little concerned about him watching him. I just think he's a guard. I don't love him at tackle. I think edge rushers will give him so much trouble in the NFL. I think he can be a really good guard. I know the Saints could use an upgrade at right guard, but offensive line is not their biggest need. I don't think they go at this early, but I get what you're saying. But they could go a number of ways. Another team that could Carnell Tate. They would love Carnell Tate, but
absolutely. They've had a pretty good run with Ohio State receivers too.
Yes, they have. I think.
Of course, you can say that about half the teams in the NFL because, they've got really good receivers.
Yeah, well, Chris Olave, very good. They need another weapon on offense, but they have a lot of defensive holes too. I just want the best player available. At some point, you have to take Caleb Downs. I couldn't let him fall further than that. Number 9, Chiefs. The way the board fell, they have Karlaftis at one edge rusher. They have Chris Jones in the interior.
Mm-hmm.
They need another edge rusher, someone on the other side. And of all the teams the last, say, 3-4 years, they care about length at corner, care about length at edge rusher less than anyone else. So I'm taking Ruben Bain, edge rusher Miami, to the Chiefs, really improve their defensive line. And their defense, was a big problem against the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year. So, yeah, Ruben Bain to the Chiefs at 9. Who you got?
All right, so a couple things here as we're setting all this up. You might be saying to yourself, why in the world are you doing this for your top 10 right now? There is a fantastic reason for it that we haven't even mentioned yet. We are going to be doing a NFL draft special. We did one last year. We're going to do an even better one this year. We've improved a lot with the graphics and everything else. It will be stunning, like Steve Austin back in the day. So, if you know, you know. So, yes, we've got some players. We got some people that are going to come on with us. They'll be on here in the next few weeks to help us out. We're probably going to have some kind of a preview show, so stay tuned for that, to where we tell you exactly who these people are that are going to be helping us pick. I won't be picking. Some of you will probably be looking at the picks that I'm doing right now and going, thank God. But I will not be picking. I will just be hosting. We'll have Cheese. We will have Med Smith. Almost positive we've got one of our other 2 guys that we really want, but he hasn't fully committed, so I don't want to say the name until we get him. I will just tell you Sports Illustrated. There you go. I'll give you that part. So he does work for Sports Illustrated. Hopefully we can get him on with us to help us pick. And then we're going to be doing that, Cheese, the Saturday before the Super Bowl. And I'm going to jump out of here because I can't tell you the times because I'm going to mess them all up.
Sunday before the Super Bowl. You said Saturday.
What did I say? Oh,
you said Saturday. It's the
Sunday. Sunday before the Super Bowl. Yes. The
Sunday before the Super Bowl, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it earlier, an hour earlier for our East Coast people. So instead of 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we're going to do it 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific on Sunday. And that is it like the 19th, I believe?
Hang on, I got to write that down here.
It's Sunday the 19th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And we will there'll be 4 of us. We'll pick for 2 divisions each.
Mhm.
So what division I will pick for, you'll see. I really would like to pick for the AFC North. We'll see. So I can pick the Bengals, which we're about to pick. And I could pick someone that Mike hates just to piss him off. Who knows? But
that's what we like to do. Just piss off Mike. That's what we like to do.
But there'll be 4 of us. We're 4 draft analysts, and we'll pick 2 division each. We did it last year. It was our most watched show. We had so much fun. We're not doing trades, and we'll break down, and we'll do 5 minutes per pick, and we'll break down each pick. The people not making pick, we'll break it down, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go over scenarios. There's so many things. There's just a lot of draft content. It's so much fun. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss it.
Yes. All right. So we are down to
the Bengals.
Let's do this. Well, I haven't picked the Chiefs yet.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, of course, let's go over where I've got everybody slated. That way this pick will make sense. So we've got Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. You've got Arvell Reese to the Jets. Sonny Styles is going to the Arizona Cardinals. Malik, I believe. Lemon is going to Tennessee. Mackay, sorry. Mackay Lemon's going to Tennessee. You got David Bailey going to the Giants. Carnell Tate goes to the Cleveland Browns. Reuben Bain to the Washington Commanders. Francis Mauigoa to the Saints. And now at number 9. But before I tell you this, I want to say this. I don't think it would happen, but I think there is a slight chance that because of Budda Baker, this guy could go as high as number 3 to the Cardinals. Now, I didn't put him there. I came close, but I didn't. Think about Budda Baker and Caleb Downs.
Insane.
2 deep safety look, right? And just, there we go. And
the range.
basically...
The range.
What could happen on that defense if they do that? I don't think they will, because it's not necessarily a premium position. And it's not really a position of need either, because they do have Budda Baker. But again, just let those sugar plums dance in your head as to what could be on the Cardinal defense with Budda Baker and Caleb Downs. But I'm going to go ahead.
Real quick before you say it, remember, Monty has moved down from 3 before, then moved back up to take a player. Paris Johnson. Maybe he moves back, gets a future first rounder, then he moves back up and takes Caleb Downs. You never know. He's not taking him 3. I don't think he'll take him 3, but he could do that.
Oh, I'd love him so much. I'd have to find him and figure out where he lives and stalk him, and anyway.
That is one of my favorite videos. If you have not watched it, Monty Ossenfort trades back with the Texans and gets a future first rounder, then moves back up to get Paris Johnson left tackle. It's fascinating to watch a GM. It's all on film. It is one of my favorite draft YouTube videos. So make sure, I recommend after this, check it out. It's really entertaining.
All right, excellent. So I'm going to go Kansas City, and because of the way the draft fell, like I just said, they can't pass on Caleb Downs. So Kansas City Chiefs are going to take Caleb Downs. Now, okay. The pick that's either going to make my head explode, or I don't know what's going to happen here. But Cheese is now on the clock for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I had Caleb Downs going 8th. If he had been there, I would have had him going the Chiefs. They lost Brian Cook in free agency. This is one of those drafts where, I didn't care what the next pick was. I just, some mock drafts you're like, oh, I want it to fit right. No. You don't get, the person in front of you can snake you. Okay. I have Fernando Mendoza going number 1 to the Raiders, obviously. Arvell Reese to the Jets at 2. David Bailey, edge rusher, to the Cardinals at 3. Sonny Styles, linebacker, to the Titans at 4. 5th, Carnell Tate, wide receiver, the Giants. Monroe Freeling, left tackle, to the Browns at 6. Jeremiah Love goes 7th to Washington. Caleb Downs 8th to the Saints. Reuben Bain Jr. to the Chiefs at 9. At number 10, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. I'm fielding. Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. I'm fielding calls. All right. So there's a couple ways that could go here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is Mike worried? Can you guys see? Is he worried? I'm not going to go wide receiver.
Just make the pick.
If the board fell this way, I think it's a no-brainer. I think you have to take Mansour Delane, cornerback, LSU. You have DJ Turner. You have Dax Hill. But, I think Dax Hill.
Michigan.
Well, he plays the slot, but you need an outside corner. They need an outside corner. They need everything on defense, all three levels. And Mansour Delane he's good in man coverage. He's good in zone. He's plays the ball really well. I loved how improved he was. He transferred from Virginia Tech. I love how much better he played the ball this past year. So I think he's the best corner in this draft, and it's a big need for the Bengals. I think it just makes sense.
Okay. I don't want to do the same pick that you did.
Then don't. Take Ty Simpson.
Yeah, let's take Ty Simpson.
The Braves and Angels got into a brawl. Ozzie Albies was like throwing punches. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it here in a minute. You know what? Why don't we do it? I am going to take from the University of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love goes to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 10. We talked about this earlier. This would be nuts for any defensive coordinator. Who are you going to game plan for? Now, the Bengals are going to have to score 45 points a game in order to win these games because they're going to win 45-42. But with this kind of offense and Jeremiah Love sitting back there, I think it could be very possible. So if Mansour Delane is not there, that's what I'm going to assume here, even though my board did not fall that way.
He could go to the Chiefs. They have a huge need at corner. Yeah.
He could. Yeah. I almost took Delane to the Chiefs just to make sure, but then I couldn't pass up on Caleb Downs. I would have gotten Caleb Downs before I would have gotten Jeremiah Love. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I didn't want to pick the same pick that you did. I don't think they're going to go Jeremiah Love here. But I will say this. I would be willing, if Jeremiah Love is still 15, 16, if he's still there, and you can trade back up into the draft if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. I know we need a bunch of defensive help, but if you get a good defensive cornerback here, then Cincinnati, I will give you permission to jump back into the draft and get the running back in the middle of the first round. But only if it's Jeremiah Love.
Right. There's a big drop off from the number one running back to the next guy, just like last year with Genty. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun.
It was fun. It's crazy that he's on a visit, so it makes you think. And it makes the draft more interesting if he is there available, depending on who also is available. Like I said, if the Browns do something stupid like take Monroe Freeling, that can change everything. There could be another team like the Washington or New Orleans could do something crazy, like take Akeem Messidor, edge rusher Miami, someone like that. Like anything crazy happens. Two offensive linemen. Well, you had Maui Noah. Maybe Spencer Fano goes in the top 10. Like it can change everything. And who knows? Who knows? Somebody that you don't expect could fall the Bengals at 10. It's pretty unpredictable. Like Mr. First Down said, I think Alvarez is going second. But after that, who knows what will happen? So there could be a lot of surprises.
How many of these visits does each team get?
30.
Wow.
It doesn't count at the pro day. You can take them to dinner. You can meet with them. You have a 15-minute combine meet. But you get 30 visits to your facility. But the top prospects, some of them get offered like 15 visits. You can't take 15 visits. You'll be exhausted. You'll be traveling for the whole month of April. So usually 12 is typically the maximum. So a lot of it – well, the top 30 visits are about basically three things. Getting to know the person better. I want to know the person better. A medical recheck, right?
Okay.
And I want to grill them on football intelligence. I want to spend time with them. I want to put them on the board. What do you see in this play? What do you see in that play? I want to see what their football IQ is. I think those are the main three things. And I noticed that some teams, you look at their top 30 lists, like 14 of the 30 are guys that were injured like the previous year, missed like 4 or 5 games or more. And it's like, oh, well, they want a medical recheck. And other times, there might be a team where it has 8 or 9 guys and they all have maybe like 8 or 9 of them have character issues. They want to get to know the guy. Is it just one isolated incident, or is he – there's so many reasons. And every once in a while it's a false flag. Like I bring in this corner. There's 2 really top corners in the draft. I bring in this guy, but I really want the other guy. I want other teams to think that's who I'm taking. So who knows?
Now, isn't there also a thing to where like the Bengals and the Browns can get a really good advantage here? Because if you bring in Ohio State people, they're within the same state. And if I remember correctly, I read somewhere, I think they don't count in those 30 visits. Is that right? Do you know?
Yeah, there's a local visit thing. I don't know exactly how that works, but there is a local visit. Like there was a University of Wisconsin player that the Packers had to visit last year. I remember saying, but it was counted as a local visit. So they still have their 30. So yes, there is some local visit. There's some kind of local that doesn't count toward the top 30. So there is that possibility as well. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So if you guys are watching this on the tape delay now, you guys weren't able to be here live, and I completely and totally understand that. Cheese and I both have lives. I get it. Maybe you're not free on Tuesday night. You're watching it on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and you still have questions. By all means, go to our YouTube channel, shoot us the question. We'll see it. We'll respond back. We love it when you guys are interactive with the show. Well, Cheese Buddy, it's been fun. Thank you very much for coming on with us again tonight on the Lights Out Sports Podcast.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, the 19th, April 19th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, an hour earlier. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. Hit the bell for notification. It's All Gloves Off Sports Media, correct?
Yes.
And then I'm at Football with Cheese, either one. And we will do a mock draft. It'll be Mike will host it. Myself and 3 other draft analysts, 2 divisions each. So much fun mock draft. We love comments, so you can comment there. You can try to influence me, especially if I have the Bengals. Who maybe you seem to like the Mansur Delane pick. It's too good. I need to make another pick that you might not like. We'll see.
All right. Well, of course you need to do that. That's it's half the goal in the show is to just upset Mike, right?
Yeah,
better podcasting.
Just to mess with you. Yes. We'll create tension. Okay, yeah. Here's who I'm gonna pick for. I'm gonna pick. No, I wouldn't do that to you. Stay tuned. But yeah, we'll see. I should pick a wide receiver. The only thing they really don't need.
Right.
Watch them do that. Remember when the Lions, when you watched the draft 20 years ago and Matt Millen was there and the Lions picked a receiver like in the first round 3 straight years? Like the top 10, like 3 straight years. Do you remember that? No. They kept picking receivers. Everyone's like, what are you doing? Yes. They're going to give up on Burrow. They're going to take Ty Simpson.
There you go. That's the new rumor. And we're going to start it right here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. Cheese has said, because he's so important, that the Bengals are going to pick Ty Simpson. Pick number 10, first round.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being with us. We certainly appreciate it. Love each and every one of you. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff here on All Gloves Off Sports Media. We got 2 different Reds podcasts, one major league, one minor league. You got Cheese and the fact that he loves himself over here. He will
like
he
myself
is on here as well.
I like myself. I don't love myself quite yet, but I'm getting there.
Okay. You're close to love, but just a like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so much stuff coming. I think we got a couple more podcasts that are soon to be coming aboard as well. We will hopefully be announcing those in the next couple of weeks. And I know we've got a new sponsor that we will announce next week. So right here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast, stay tuned, and we'll get all that information to you then. Cheese, anything you want to add to the end?
No, this is fun. Mock drafts are great. And we're getting close to draft season. So make sure you go to my channel if you have not, at Football with Cheese. Lots of draft content coming. Today I did a breakdown of both Utah offensive tackles. So make sure you go follow.
So what's coming next? What's tomorrow?
So I think Francis Maui Noah. I think that's what I'm going to do next. I I know I promised like a week and a half ago Ty Simpson was coming, but I kind of got sidetracked by offensive line. I love offensive line. So a lot of offensive line content coming this week. And as we get later in the week, I'm going to start doing my position breakdowns. Those take a lot more work, research. So the next couple nights, I'm going to really work on that. So, and then I'll do a couple days before the draft, I'll do my top 100. So yeah, just make sure at Football with Cheese, CHEEZ.
And if you guys go to his channel, make sure you get his home address because you send him some crayons. He's going to need some over the next few weeks because he's going to be doing a lot of notes.
Yes.
All right, guys. So as we bid you all adieu, we appreciate you. We thank you. And as always, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good evening, everyone.